Wow, wow, wow. What an emotional roller coaster of a game that was. The Miami Dolphins barely, barely pull out a victory today over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 20-17. Another nail biter on opening week for your Miami Dolphins. It wasn't pretty at all. Matter of fact, the offense had a really bad day today by the offensive line performance and by the play calling that Mike McDaniel did today. Too many screens, man. Too many screens behind the line of scrimmage. Throwing to Durham Smythe more than Jonnu Smith. Robert Jones being an absolute drive killer the entire day. Two huge penalties that he gets caught on. The Tua scramble in the first half, holding on Robert Jones. Another penalty that happened in the second half, holding on Robert Jones, or some sort of penalty on Robert Jones. He was horrific today. The offensive line was not good. But they found a way to do it in the second half. And I panicked, of course, on Twitter. That's what I do. I got to get better at that. I'm such a panic man during these games. My God, I did not miss this. The Dolphins, if anybody tells you that being a Miami Dolphins fan is all fun, they are wrong. Because it could be the most stressful shit you deal with in your life. I am more stressed out about the Miami Dolphins than I am going to work. I love going to work, okay? But sometimes work can stress me out. No lie. Sometimes it stresses me out. But there is no way that going to work stresses me out more than the Miami Dolphins. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we might as well talk about this right now. It wasn't just this game. It was everything. Gotta turn my volume down for a sec. It was everything that involved Tyreek Hill today. So that's actually what we're going to talk about first. Is the incident involving Tyreek Hill. There is something that happened at around 10:45 this morning that Tyreek Hill got arrested going into Hard Rock Stadium. A driving violation. He was tackled to the ground, put in handcuffs over a driving violation. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid, the whole situation. He should not have been forcibly driven to the ground the way he was by the police. He was handcuffed and just for a driving violation heading into the stadium. Like, these police, like, they are so violent. They are so violent. And the whole situation was, there was a ton of police on the ground, on site. Players from the Dolphins saw Tyreek pulled over in handcuffs. I believe Calais Campbell was one of them. And there was probably other players as well that came over and told the police the whole situation. And then police escorted them to Hard Rock Stadium. Absolutely stupid stuff. Drew Rosenhaus on ESPN is being interviewed by Jeff Darlington, and he says, "This is all a travesty. It's mind-boggling. I'm going to investigate in this." He's basically going off on ESPN talking about how what they did to Tyreek Hill was wrong, and I agree. Maybe he was over the speed limit, but why are we forcibly driving him to the ground like that? Why are we putting him in that type of situation? It's unbelievable. And Tyreek was not at fault because look at what the Miami police posted out earlier today. So this was 3 hours ago. The Miami police tweeted out, "We are aware of the recent detention of Miami Dolphins player Tyreek Hill by the Miami Police Department officers. I have requested an immediate review of all details surrounding the incident, and we are also reviewing available body camera footage. We will provide updates as further information becomes available." So that was 3 hours ago, okay? That was around 1 o'clock. That happened around 1 o'clock. 16 minutes ago, so after the game was over, this was tweeted out by the Miami police. "Following the incident involving Tyreek Hill, I have initiated an internal affairs investigation to ensure a thorough review of the matter. One of the officers involved in the incident has been placed on administrative duties while the investigation is conducted. I'm committed to transparency and accountability to the community with any situation involving my officers." So, fuck the police. They can't even stop Tyreek Hill from the day that he had. He had himself a monster 80-yard touchdown, but can't stop Tyreek, man. Can't stop him. Handcuff celebration and all. Beautiful stuff, but it's just a terrible, terrible situation to be in. And Tyreek is not at fault at this. I'm just happy Tyreek was able to play, but very, 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 it stinks, and nothing is normal with the Miami Dolphins, okay? For the new viewers that are watching this, you wonder why I scream and shout about the Miami Dolphins. Nothing is normal with this team. Nothing. We can't just have a clean, fun week going into the game and all that. We can't just... It just can't be normal where all we talk about is football. We always got to talk about something else. Always got to talk about something else. Before we get into the game, I do want to talk about the inactives. Jalen Ramsey did play today. He was going to be on a snap count. I didn't think he was on a snap count that much. I did see him at points in the game. We also did see Storm Duck play in the game at parts as well. Mostly special teams. But he did get some corner reps. But what's weird is the media, the Dolphins media, was making it out to seem like Ethan Bonner was going to be the starting corner this week if Jalen Ramsey was not ready to go. And Ethan Bonner talked about how he's doing some preparation for this game and getting ready to potentially start. So he didn't play. And my question is, how in the world did we get to this situation where Ethan Bonner went from potentially starting week 1 to not being active? I guess what the media says most of the time is bullshit, because maybe they see something more in Storm Duck than they do in Ethan Bonner. So that was really weird to see that. And then Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright did not play today. So there's that. I'm trying to see some quotes from the press conference. Tua said, "We need to get our heads out of our ass." Yeah, damn right. Even though we won, the offense, not great today. So we are already 10 minutes basically into this podcast. Let's go ahead and get into this game. We'll go over some stats, and then we'll talk about this game. So we'll go with Jacksonville first. Trevor Lawrence was 12 for 21 with 162 yards and 1 touchdown. So not a game that was all that crazy for him, but he did have a solid game overall. Not a bad performance by Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville was able to get runs with the football. They were able to run the ball pretty well today, actually. Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne split carries. Tank Bigsby had 12 carries for 73 yards. He averaged 6 yards a carry today. Meanwhile, Travis Etienne was my main concern, but it was Bigsby getting the big runs. Travis Etienne was 12 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown, and he made a big mistake in this game that we will get to. Gabe Davis had 3 catches for 62 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., who's been getting a lot of hype in the offseason, 4 catches, 47 yards, and a touchdown. Christian Kirk, 1 catch for 30 yards. Evan Ingram, 1 catch for 5 yards. He's on my fantasy team, but I don't care. They played really well against Evan Ingram today. And the Jaguars on defense, Olokun, their linebacker, Foye Oloku, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He led their team in tackles, and Jacksonville got 3 sacks, 2 of them coming from Trayvon Walker. Then we go to the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, 23 for 37, 338 yards, and 1 touchdown. Tua was slinging that ball a lot today. A lot. And that's because the Miami Dolphins barely had a run game going. Jeff Wilson, who only got carries in the 4th quarter, led the team in rushing yards today. He had 5 rushes for 26 yards. We could not run the ball at all today. We only had 81 rushing yards on the ground. So Jeff Wilson had 5 rushes for 26 yards. Devon Achane, 10 rushes for 24 yards and a touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa had 1 rush for 11 yards, and Raheem Mostert, 6 rushes, 9 yards. Not good at all. Not good. I said it in my season preview that Devon Achane is going to take over as RB1 for Raheem Mostert at some point this season. That's one of my predictions. But let's get to the receiving. Tyreek Hill had 7 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. So there you go. Tyreek goes crazy on opening day. Tyreek had himself an 80-yard touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Jalen Waddle had 5 catches for 109 yards. A big bulk of that was when he got a 63-yard catch in the 3rd quarter, which, by the way, we did not score on that drive. How's that possible? I have no idea. But both in the first game of the season, Waddle and Hill both go for 100 yards. So you love to see that. Devon Achane, they said he would be active in the passing game. Well, he had a lot of opportunities in the passing game today. Devon Achane, 7 catches for 76 yards. And Raheem Mostert, 2 catches for 10 yards. Then we get to the defense. David Long Jr. led the team in tackles with 7. Javon Holland had a forced fumble, which basically won us the game. If Travis Etienne scored the touchdown, that would have been the knockout punch. Jacksonville would have gone up 24-7. Instead, we get a 14-point swing because of Javon Holland. So, a humongous play by Javon, which was recovered by Kader Kohou. Calais Campbell had a sack. Emmanuel Ogbah had a sack. And Jalen Phillips, a huge 3rd down sack when we were tied 17-17. So, let me take a sip of my water real quick. Gotta get the hydration going, man. Gotta get the hydration. So let's get this started. Dolphins began the game with the ball. They went 7 plays, 38 yards. They started 3rd and 13 with a 39-yard with a screen pass to Devon Achane, which was able to go for 39 yards down to the Jacksonville 44-yard line. Tua took a sack by Trayvon Walker by sliding down. Tua to Tyreek for 2 yards, who was being covered by Ronald Darby. And on 3rd and 8, going deep, Tyreek was kind of getting pressed to the sideline, so really didn't have that big of an opportunity, and the pass was incomplete. Mike McDaniel, instead of pinning Jacksonville back to 10-yard line or less, decides to go for it here, and incomplete. Incomplete by Tua to Braxton Berrios. Mike McDaniel did not coach a good game today, with the 4th down decisions, and just the play calling was bad. The screen passes. Too many screen passes. It was almost very predictable what Mike McDaniel was trying to do. So, turnover on downs by the Dolphins. Their first possession on defense, fabulous. Trevor Lawrence gets sacked for 13 yards by Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell then gets a 1-yard loss for Travis Etienne. So Calais Campbell all over the field at the beginning. And then Trevor Lawrence to Evan Ingram, which an interception was dropped by Jordan Poyer. Would have been huge. Jordan Poyer, you got to come down with that ball, man. So, Jacksonville punts. Miami goes 6 plays, 18 yards. 3rd and 2, Tua to Tyreek for 10 yards. And then 3 straight incompletions on 3rd and 10. On 1st and 10 at the Miami 49. Tua had Tyreek wide open on the left side of the field, and he overthrew him. How you overthrow Tyreek in that situation, I have no idea. But you are getting paid $53 million a year, my man. You've got to make that throw to a wide open Tyreek. You got to make that throw. Getting paid that much money, you got to be able to connect there. So Miami punts, and Jacksonville handles business on this next drive. 6 plays, 96 yards. They went 96 yards in 6 plays. That shouldn't happen at all. That should not happen. Tank Bigsby for 17 yards. Tank Bigsby for 7 yards. Trevor Lawrence to Gabe Davis for 20 yards. Trevor Lawrence scrambles for 8. And then pass interference. Trevor Lawrence goes deep to Brian Thomas Jr. PI is called on Jalen Ramsey. Jacksonville gets it at the 1. Travis Etienne touchdown. Jacksonville goes up 7-0. Miami then goes 3 and out. This was one of the plays I was talking about with Robert Jones. 2nd and 11 from the Miami 24. Tua scrambles for 12 yards, and it comes back because Robert Jones gets called for holding. Not good at all. 2nd and 21. Tua to Jonnu Smith for 7 yards, and then they end up punting. Jacksonville, 5 plays, 11 yards. They punt. Miami, another possession where they have turnover on downs. Tua to Waddle for 12 yards. Waddle got hit hard on this play, so he had to go out and get checked for a concussion. Tua incomplete to Braxton Berrios, but Jacksonville gets called for roughing the passer. Josh Hines Allen gets called for roughing. Then Tua incomplete, and then offsides on Jacksonville. 2nd and 5. Devon Achane 2 yards, and then they run the ball again. Devon Achane, no yards. No fucking blocking by the offensive line. No holes at all. And then 4th and 3. They throw an out route to Braxton Berrios, and it's incomplete. Miami turns the ball over on downs. And what does Jacksonville do on the next possession? They score a touchdown. And at this point, I wanted to puke. I could not believe what I was watching from this Dolphins team. Tank Bigsby for 8 yards. They get 3rd and 8, and Trevor Lawrence throws a laser down the field to Christian Kirk, way too easy, down to the Miami 23-yard line. Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas Jr. for 9 yards. They pick up the first down on Travis Etienne run, and Jacksonville gets called on the delay of game, so it went from 3rd to 5 to 3rd and 10, and Trevor Lawrence finds who? He finds the rookie receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., in the back of the end zone, being covered by Jalen Ramsey, and he gets a touchdown. So, Thomas Jr., a rookie, got the better of Jalen Ramsey. Great. We are paying Jalen Ramsey $24 million a year, the highest paid corner in the NFL, to get toasted by a fucking rookie. Great. Jacksonville's up 14-0. And at this point, Miami had to do something. They had to do something on this next possession. And luckily they did. They go 12 plays, 70 yards in 5 minutes. We start things off with Tua, a screen pass to Devon Achane that goes for 16 yards. 2nd and 10, Tua scrambles up the middle for 11. 3rd and 8, Tua to Jalen Waddle for 20 yards and a first down. 2nd and 10, Achane for 9 yards. Then Durham Smythe gets called for a false start. Tua finds Tyreek for 10 yards, first down. Then 2nd and goal, Tua throws a screen to Achane. At first it's ruled a touchdown, but it's not a touchdown. Achane was short, but he gets it on 3rd and goal. Devon Achane gets the touchdown from 1 yard out. Jacksonville's up 14-7. And at this point, there's a minute on the clock, and Jacksonville's offense is controlling the game. And I told myself, they are absolutely going to get down there, and they're going to get points before halftime. And wouldn't you know, 2 plays in this possession, 2 plays into the possession, and Jacksonville's already in field goal range. Already. 2 plays, 38 yards. Jacksonville's already in field goal range. Bad. I know the defense was stellar in the second half, but the first half, not so much. So we go from this point, 1st and 10 at the Miami 39. Evan Ingram for 5 yards. Incomplete to Evan Ingram. Incomplete again by Trevor Lawrence. And their rookie kicker goes out to kick a 52-yard field goal and makes it right down the middle. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are up 17-7 at halftime over the Miami Dolphins. Jacksonville, they start out the possession, the second half with the ball, and they go 3 and out. Miami, 6 plays. Well, this is how Jacksonville's, and I'm going to start glazing this defense because they won us this game. I don't care what you say. Yes, we had a nice play with Tyreek for 80 yards. We made great plays on offense in the second half. The defense won us the fucking game today, and there's no denying that. In the second half, Jacksonville went punt, fumble, turnover on downs, punt. Phenomenal second half performance by this Dolphins defense. The Dolphins, they go 6 plays and they punt. Jacksonville, next possession, they go 3 and out. Harrison, their right tackle, gets called for offensive holding. It's 2nd and 20. Travis Etienne for 7 yards, and then Trevor Lawrence is incomplete. So the Miami Dolphins get the ball, and they start on their own 11-yard line. And Jalen Waddle, he beats Ronald Darby on his route and gets a completion of 63 yards. We go from our own 11 to the Jacksonville 26-yard line. You're like, man, we're about to score. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that did not happen. Let's talk about it. So Raheem Mostert goes backwards. A loss of 3. It's 2nd and 13. Then Mike McDaniel throws a screen pass to Tyreek Hill. And guess what happens, ladies and gentlemen? We only have 2 blockers to their 4 defenders on the right side, and we lose yards. So we get a 63-yard completion, and just like that, we lose 6 yards. 6 yards, just like that. I blame McDaniel. On the second play, I blame McDaniel's play calling. And on 3rd and 16, Tua holds the ball for too long. Trayvon Walker trips up his ankle, and Tua gets sacked. That's just an inexcusable possession, man. That is inexcusable. After a play like that to Jalen Waddle, that happens. That shit cannot happen, man. They have to have scored on that possession. At the end of the day, we won the game, but this offense that has issues that they need to fix, and they need to fix quickly because they play Thursday night. So we got to figure it out quickly. Jacksonville then goes 6 plays, 94 yards. Tank Bigsby, they start on their own 3. Okay? Tank Bigsby for 26 yards. Then Trevor Lawrence to Gabe Davis for 22 yards. So they start this possession on their own 3-yard line. And in 2 plays, they're already in Miami territory. Sickening. Trevor Lawrence to Travis Etienne for 12 yards. Tank Bigsby for 7. A penalty on Jordan Poyer for face mask makes it a 15-yard penalty. And at the 13-yard line, Travis Etienne is about to run it in for a touchdown. And he's at the 3-yard line. And Javon Holland punches this ball out. And Kato Kohu recovers it in the end zone. Javon Holland, the snowman, saved the game for the Miami Dolphins. Javon Holland needs to be paid, man. I don't know when we're going to pay Holland, but damn it, this play proves it. Because if he doesn't make that play, Jacksonville goes up 24-7, and the game is over. He ignited the energy that not only the entire team needed, but the stadium. Because the stadium was flat and quiet. And it was Javon Holland who rose to the occasion and brung that energy that this team needed. Unbelievable play by Javon Holland. That reminded me of the tackle that Deshaun Elliott made last year on Christmas Eve versus Dallas. If Deshaun Elliott doesn't make that tackle, the Dolphins lose to Dallas. And this year, Javon Holland does not punch the ball out on Travis Etienne. Jacksonville goes up 24-7. We lose that game. We lose this game. Biggest play of the entire day. And on the next play, we go deep left to Tyreek Hill, and he beats Ronald Darby and Andre Sisco, 80-yard touchdown. So just like that, that's a 14-point swing. we went from potentially being down 24-7 to having a 3-point game. Massive, massive turn of events in favor of our Miami Dolphins. So Jacksonville gets the ball next. Everybody's on their feet. First of all, Parker Washington fumbled the kick return, and we weren't able to recover it. So Jacksonville gets the ball at their own 23. 2nd and 8, Travis Etienne for 7 yards. And on 3rd and 1, David Long makes a great tackle. A great tackle. And this is the first play of the 4th quarter. Jacksonville's going for it on their own 32-yard line. And they do a pitch play to Travis Etienne, which we read immediately. And Jalen Ramsey was eyeing him up like a fucking hawk. He followed Travis Etienne, and when Travis Etienne made the turn to the corner, boom! Jalen Ramsey gave him a nice shoulder tackle, which took him off his feet. Sideline going crazy. Jalen Ramsey with a huge play. Huge. Then, missed field goal. 42 yards, not even close, from Jason Sanders. Jacksonville gets the ball back. They go 4 plays, 16 yards. Travis Etienne for 11 yards. They are at the Miami 48. Tank Bigsby for 1 yard. And 3rd and 5. Pressure gets to Trevor Lawrence, and it's incomplete, intended for Christian Kirk. Jacksonville is punting. Miami starts on their own 8-yard line. Devon Achane gets a 6-yard run. A penalty on Tyson Campbell for PI gets us to our own 34-yard line. And on 2nd and 10, Tua goes to Tyreek Hill for 21 yards. First down at the Jacksonville 45. Raheem Mostert for 6 yards. False start on Julian Hill. It's 2nd and 9, and Jeff Wilson comes in for a 14-yard gain. Jeff Wilson runs angry, and that's what I love about Jeff Wilson Jr. A different dynamic from the other running backs in our room. Jeff Wilson is a power runner. Jeff Wilson is aggressive. That's what I love about Jeff Wilson so much. Jeff Wilson gets 6 yards. Jeff Wilson gets 3 yards. And on 3rd and 1, Alec Ingold, 6 yards, first down. So, this time we get an offensive holding from Tyreek Hill, of all people. Tua, a screen pass to Mostert for 7 yards. Tua, 2nd and 13. What do? We throw behind the line of scrimmage. -1 for Devon Achane. And on 3rd and 14, incomplete to Tyreek Hill. But Jason Sanders makes the 37-yard field goal. And we're tied. We are tied. 17-17 with 4:22 to go. Jacksonville is getting the ball. Can the Dolphins defense make one more stop in this game? Tank Bigsby, no gain. 2nd and 10. Emmanuel Ogbah comes up with the sack. 3rd and 14. Jalen Phillips comes in with the sack. Loss of 10 from sacks from Ogbah and Jalen Phillips. Jacksonville, they punt. They get a delay of game called. And Miami starts on their own 35-yard line with the opportunity, with 2:09 left, to go ahead and win this game. Devon Achane for 4 yards. Tua to Jalen Waddle. Quick slant for 13 yards. 2nd and 11. Tua, a screen pass to Devon Achane for 10 yards. And on 3rd and 1, we hand it up the middle to Alec Ingold. And then Mike McDaniel told them to slow things down. And I'm like, are we really about to send Jason Sanders out to the field to kick a 50-plus yard field goal when he shanked it wide left for 42? Really now? But Jason Sanders proved me wrong. 52 yards down the middle. It's good. The Miami Dolphins, your Miami Dolphins, beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 20-17 on opening day. Shout out to the entire defense, man. Everybody was bad in the second half. Okay? Or not the second half, the first half. Okay? Everybody was bad. From the offense, the defense, the coaching. It was all bad. Everything was better in the second half. The offense had better plays. They were smarter. The coaching, still dumb from Mike McDaniel. But it was the defense. It was the defense that came through and made plays. Javon Holland, Jalen Ramsey, Emmanuel Ogbah, Jalen Phillips, all deserves a round of applause because they made big-time plays in big-time moments when it fucking mattered the most. And as for my MVP today, because we won, so I'll give out an MVP. The MVP is Javon Holland. If Javon Holland does not force that fumble, we are down 24-7, and more than likely, we lose today to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, that's a big win. That's a big win. A come-from-behind win. You guys know how Mike McDaniel loves to say, we battle through adversity. Adversity is opportunity. That's his favorite line. Adversity is opportunity. That's his favorite thing to say. We dealt with adversity, and we came through. We came through. I couldn't be any prouder, man. I'm very proud of this team. They won. Now, shifting to gears, we got a big one on Thursday night. We got a quick turnaround at home on Thursday night versus the Buffalo Bills. And they had themselves a nice back and forth game with the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, they won 34-28 over Arizona, but Arizona held their own against Buffalo. And as much as I can't stand the Buffalo Bills, I can't say we're better than the Bills until we beat them. So Thursday night, we have to go out there and send a fucking message. It's a big game. It's a big game. This early in the season, huge. So, that's all I got, man. We're going to talk early this week. Might even hop by and do a video tomorrow if we get out of news on the Tyreek Hill situation. If other news from the Miami Dolphins comes out, I'll be here tomorrow night to talk about it. But Tuesday is our preview for the Bills-Dolphins on Thursday night, okay? So Tuesday night, it's going to be really late, by the way, because I got a doctor's appointment on Tuesday. I got homework and shit with college. I work all day. So Tuesday, I'm going to have a really busy day. But at night, when I get downtime, I'm going to hop on here, do a preview. So Tuesday night, really late, like 10 o'clock-ish, we'll have the preview up for Bills-Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. So, guys, I'm getting out of here. What a day it was for the Miami Dolphins. An eventful day for sure, but I'm getting out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Hit the like button if you liked what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And yeah, man, subscribe. It's going to be fun. Going to Miami in a couple weeks to see the Dolphins take on the Tennessee Titans on Monday Night Football. Should be awesome. I'm heading out. I'll see you guys on the preview. And maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe, we'll stop by and we'll have a chat. But I'm done, man. My throat hurts. I'm going to watch some football. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. Fins up. Let's go.